Welcome back to our daily show right here on this beautiful 14th day of June in downtown Alton. Joe and May, Small Business Development Center for the Metro East. You know, we talked, maybe a few months back about all the great things that you guys are doing. And now coming up on the 21st of June, a small business development seminar right here at Eastgate Plaza. This is really, really cool.
Yeah, thank you very much, CJ. We try to go around to different communities throughout the year and host our Starting a Small Business workshop. And we bring other professionals like lenders and accountants and attorneys with us to give that general overview to startups and entrepreneurs that are thinking about starting a business.
And now, is this perfect for anybody that, you know, whether or not it's in any specific industry, this is just a really good place to start regardless of what we're looking to do?
Exactly. It doesn't matter what industry or any of the other factors that might be keeping, you from getting started. If you just have an idea and don't know the first steps, this is the workshop for you.
And now take me through this. Have you guys done these type of seminars before? I'm assuming you have.
Yes, we do them every month. Actually, in July and August, we will be doing them virtually. But we go around to different communities. It'll be about a 2-hour workshop. And we talk about the business planning, feasibility of your venture, financing criteria, and the registration process. So a little bit of everything that you need to know to get started.
Without a doubt. And you know, on top of that, too, you know, there's so many ins and outs that, you know, I think somebody and all of us that have ever started a business or been a part of that, you know, the first idea is, all right, let's just put the Facebook page together. Let's, you know, keep what we have in the bank account. Let's put it in and let's do this. But there's so many options to really help somebody get started on the best path forward. And you guys do a very good job of not only educating the folks that you guys are, you know, helping advise, but also really helping them obtain those items like grants and so many others that we've talked in the past. And just how crucial is it for, you know, finding that, you know, maybe that program or some type of financial asset that could help a business really in that first crucial year?
Yeah, it's definitely key to your success. We can help you navigate, you know, the regulatory situation, the financial areas that you need to get started. You know, maybe a brick and mortar is not for you initially, and maybe that is too much of a financial commitment. You know, we can help you navigate the best ways to get started and build that cash flow so that you can be successful for the long term.
And you know, I have to ask you, Joe, and has there been, I can only imagine you can count on your hand just within the past, you know, few meetings you've had with, you know, prospective small business owners. What's the reaction whenever they, you know, you guys go through some of these options, you go through some of these, you know, scenarios where you see their eyes kind of light up a little bit going, oh, okay, this is a lot more than what my brain put together.
Exactly. I mean, every day as I'm going over that business plan, registration process, talking about the financial criteria of lending, and, you know, anything else, their eyes get big and it becomes a little overwhelming. But, you know, I always reassure them that our office is here. It's a relationship. We don't just meet with them one time. We're here for the whole life of their operation, whether it takes them, you know, 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years to get started. And we're here for the long haul.
And that's actually a great segue, because I was going to ask you what the normal, not normal, but on average, is there normally a timetable that you guys kind of have in the process where, you know, okay, maybe around 3 to 6 months, that's what normally our, you know, our clients or the folks that are starting their small businesses and learning through us are hitting the ground running. Is there a normal gap for that?
Well, it really depends on the personal situation, but I would say if everything is in line, 3 to 6 months is pretty normal. If we need to work on a few things, then it may take, you know, 12 months or 18 months. It really just depends. And sometimes, like I said, we can find a way to work on some of those challenges and get them into a better position. They may not be able to open, but they're at least making progress towards that goal.
Without a doubt. And that to me is just what you guys do is so crucial because, so many of us have great ideas and great thoughts, but, some of us don't realize the steps that's needed to really obtain those missions, those goals. And I just want to, is there been, in the last couple of months, we've already talked before about some of these really great businesses coming out, but is there one in particular you'd like to highlight today, this morning, as we're talking about the seminar?
Well, I would say I am excited to have a new meat store in
Oh,
Grafton. So we were able to assist them in navigating all the regulatory areas that they needed, and
wow.
just really was able to get up and running within a few months.
Wow. That is actually incredible. And with the meat store, I could only imagine the regulations and certain health codes and guidelines that you got to follow and all that fun stuff. Now, what I would love about this seminar, which we're talking the June 21st seminar right over here at Eastgate Plaza, it's free. This is amazing. Now, is this something that, we got to register a little bit in advance, or can we register at the door?
We do prefer that you register ahead of time. This way we have enough information to hand out to everybody. But if you just show up, that's fine too. Maybe you have an opening in your day and you decide to come, that's fine. It's a beautiful venue. Alternative Office Space is a great place, and we love partnering with them. And it's going to showcase all the services that we have to offer, and the areas that you need to focus on to get your business started. And there's no cost. Like you said, it's totally accessible and available to everybody.
Wow, that's just incredible. And with that being said, take us through what are some of the things about this seminar that you find fascinating? Because there's so many ins and outs that we're going to be learning about, so many important things. And what can you tell us about, some of your highlights to what makes this seminar so unique and also so engaging?
Well, again, it gives a great overview of everything you need to be thinking about when you look to get started in business. But what I find very helpful is, asking all the entrepreneurs what business they're looking to get started. And I can tailor, marketing ideas and the regulatory steps to their business, and talk specifically tips and rules that they need to be considering. So it's usually a small group, I would say, probably 10 to 15 folks. So it makes it easy for interaction and discussion. And then, again, it's the very first step. So then we can meet with them one-on-one and continue that discussion and really dive into their situation.
And so many times too, just in my experience, with some of these seminars and different things that I used to do before media was, people get really, they might, be very confident or maybe have that personable touch, but whenever it gets to these, nuts and bolts of these seminars, I've noticed that a lot of folks seem to kind of get a little bit tense or a little bit, not on edge, but a little bit more toned down. Is it one of those where you guys kind of experience that too, where the realizations hitting of what goes into these businesses, all the work that goes into it, plus the fine tuning on the back end too?
Yeah, I would say it really gives them that big picture and lets them see that this is real and there's a lot of work to go into it. And, I think a success also is if they realize they're not quite ready, that's okay too.
Exactly. And to me, I would much rather, I don't know if you've had this where before I did media and all that, a little bit of the consulting I did, there was times I said, I would take this back to the drawing board and let's refresh it a little bit. And then the feeling though, whenever they come back and they're, the client or the small business owner, the prospective one's ready to get going at that, second time through, it makes it even more special because you went back, you refined it, you figured out what you needed to do to accomplish this. And I can only imagine that's what you're, feeling on your end of things too.
Yeah, it's a great feeling when you can help them, realize, get through a challenge, realize their goals, and take those steps, whether it's a small step or the big final step of getting started and opening their doors. It's all part of that journey.
Without a doubt. And Joanne, I could talk to you all day because I think what you guys do is just fantastic. I love every bit of the Small Business Development Center. And I wanted to ask you really quick, how long do these seminars go for?
Usually the Starting a Small Business workshop is a couple hours, 3 to 5 p.m.
Okay.
Generally is when we host those. And we do a lot of other workshops and webinars throughout the month. So probably 3 to 4 times a month, there's opportunities, whether it's social media, whether it's financial planning, human resource related. There's lots of different topics that we bring to the table to really help enhance those daily discussions that we have.
Without a doubt. And now, if you could, what's the best way to find that information? Maybe we can't make it to the June 21st one, but we want to be a part of one of these seminars. What's the best way for that information?
Well, the best way would be to follow us on Facebook. And also you can go to our website. We try to have 60 to 90 days on our calendar.
Wow.
So on the top of our website, there's a button in that banner photo that says events, and you can go directly to our calendar of events. There's the top section with our Starting a Small Business and the grant preparation workshops. Then in the middle section, you'll see recordings that we have available at your own time and pace. And then the other workshops are listed at the bottom. And just also to mention, we are kicking off our business plan competition for the 10th year.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So we are going to be getting out in different communities. We're going to be in Edwardsville next week, O'Fallon on the 12th of July. On the 14th, I'm waiting to confirm, but we should be in East St. Louis. So we are getting out and kicking off our 10th annual competition and just showing everyone the eligibility requirements and how to go through that application process.
Wow, that is just fantastic. And I'm excited for that. We'll have to, as the competition creeps closer and closer to that final date, we'll have to get the winner on or something and really highlight their success too, because that's a tough competition where a lot of businesses contribute to that, or a lot of folks do, don't they?
Yes, we have mentors and reviewers and just really provide a lot of resources to these entrepreneurs and new business owners. And the final prize, top place, is $10,000. So a portion of $25,000 is up for grabs. And Leadership Council provides mentoring services and an annual membership to their council. And the first Friday in November, we will do our big presentation in front of Leadership Council.
That is fantastic. Joanne, thank you so much for, really just always being willing to come on the show and talk about the great things that you all are doing down there. And if I can be of any help, feel free to reach out and come back on if there's any more updates, any great seminars coming down the pipeline, because I really appreciate what you do for so many in the Metro East.
Thank you. I appreciate you always supporting us and sharing the information.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break. Our daily show that rolls on after this in downtown Alton.